Modiga människor.
Modiga människor.
Modiga människor.
Modiga människor.
Modiga människor. Hello and welcome to another episode of Modiga Människor, Brave People. And with me today I have Mika Vauhkala. Welcome.
Thank you, thank you.
You sued the Finnish government and Fazer,
Yes.
during the COVID time,
Yeah, COVID time, 2021. December 10th, Friday morning, 9 o'clock. I was going to have just a croissant and a cafe and oatmeal with my friend, breakfast. And this was the cafe, Fazer cafe in the downtown Helsinki. And they were then asking the Covidpass from the people to be able to get in. And I was talking with the person, waitress who was checking it out there, and she said, yeah, you have to have this, that you cannot come otherwise. And then I said, can you call the manager of the restaurant? It's a big place. So she came finally, and I had a couple of exchanges of thoughts with her about the thing, and I said, this is not okay, you are not letting me in with my friend. And she was just saying, no, we don't have, we just have this rule, you have to have the Covidpass. And then I got her card, and I was so sort of pissed off that I said I will not leave it here. And then I started to figure out how to get this thing forward in the court system. And we were already turned away from 2 other places that morning. Then finally we got to the hotel camp, which is in the Esplanade of Helsinki, to get the breakfast. And for many people it looks like, well, this was very little thing that happened to you, that why are you crying for this little croissant? But this was happening for millions of people around the world, not only in Finland or Europe, but USA and other places, China and Middle East, whatever. You have to have the medication, vaccines taken, COVID vaccines, or a PCR test needle up your nose and get some kind of result there that you are able to, live your life. And I just felt it really wrong by many means. And now 2.5 years have gone, and now I'm here in Sweden talking with you about this case in Stockholm.
I mean, it's quite a big step. I mean, you didn't just get angry. So, I mean, and what have the reactions been in Finland?
This is the only case we know in the world when the highest government body and a big corporation is sued for Covidpass. So we don't know any other case of similar caliber. So there's a big responsibility on this at me and my team. And I'm just a private person in this case, so there is a Finnish government with tens of billions of euros of budget, and Fazer is one of the richest companies in Finland, so they sell like 1.5 billion euros revenue each year, and so on. So there is a big imbalance in the, let's say, funding side to the story, but. Many have been supporting me in this case in Finland, supportive and really showing thumbs up and so on. But also a lot of, quite some opposition has come, nobody has been threatening with anything, not a single time. But people have been calling me with all kind of names, mocking names and new nicknames I didn't know exist. So that kind of thing has happened. And mostly the people who attack me on social media or call me with names are men. Most of them are men. And most people who kind of publicly show me support are women, most of them. That's kind of weird. And I don't know what's wrong with many men, they are...
Maybe feeling threatened, I think.
Yeah, and I don't know. Don't they see that it's important that you must have your basic human rights working out, and otherwise you're a slave, like to the medication and testing and medical industry, and not many know. Well, quite many know this Oviedo agreement, which was made in Spain long time ago. Many countries have signed up to that, also Sweden, I think so, and Finland. So that's based on the things from the Nuremberg trials, like the principle coming that all kind of medical intervention or testing should be completely voluntary. And now this was violated with this Covidpass at the same time. And what's really alarming is that WHO and EU made last year 1st of July agreement that they can now use Covidpass application next time worldwide. They maybe call it Health Pass or Vaccine Pass or something like that. But they're ready to use it worldwide next time when this kind of health crisis, made up or real one or really originated from the nature, whatever, that they are ready to use it again. And but you cannot really, if you do this, this is medical dictatorship. This is taking control over people's lives, like you should never do.
Yeah, but in one way we all already are in medicine dictatorship, because I mean so many people were actually forced to take these shots. I mean,
yeah, they were coerced, which means like practically forced. Not many were forced, like,
and not with a gun, but
yes.
I mean you can't come to work, you can't, and
yeah,
and what
this
is
way.
that? It's a manipulation, it's a force, eller vad heter det? Not force.
It's coercion.
Yeah.
Coercion, like in reality, it's forcing. Even though they say this is completely voluntary and stuff like that. And when the COVID vaccines were coming, I remember I was asking some parliament members in Finland in the social media that, okay, now when the vaccine comes, do you defend the human rights of those who don't take it? There was silence. And I had this bad gut feeling that this will very likely lead in the thing that those who don't take it, they will be discriminated. And even when Donald Trump was launching this Operation Warp Speed, the vaccine program in US, though I'm supportive of Trump on many cases, but not on this one. So he was launching this, and when he was speaking it, I had this weird gut feeling that this will lead into big trouble, this thing what he is now launching, even though he was not saying that you cannot live life if you don't take the vaccine and so on, but then it came exactly like that. And in Germany, Nazi Germany, in Hamburg area, late or mid 30s, they had this health pass already there and this kind of thing. And now, if you really would like to have this kind of health pass, there are so many bad habits people have, that nobody could be maybe living life here at all. And now when they wanted to have this vaccine that you should take, in Finland the government was saying when they were launching this COVID law that you must, that it's okay if it works, and the purpose of this COVID pass is to be able to stop the transmission of COVID. Okay. But now in my court case, we have proven many piles of evidence that government knew already before the COVID pass came that the vaccine is not stopping transmission at all. So by many scientific peer-reviewed articles and like the main figures from Finnish health sector, they were in the court testifying. Hanna Nohunek is maybe the most prominent one, so to say. So she's also chairman of SAGE. It's an advisory group on immunization under WHO. So she's like a head figure of vaccines in the world under WHO. And she was in the court as well, and she testified when my lawyer was asking that if a vaccinated person goes to the room which is full of other vaccinated people, can this vaccinated person transmit COVID to these other vaccinated people? And the answer was yes. And she was speaking under oath. And also the Asko Järvinen, who is the head of infectious diseases in Helsinki University Hospital and many times in the news in Finland, so he was in the court as well. He confirmed this same thing. And he has said it even on TV that they knew the vaccine is not stopping the transmission like well before the Covidpass came. And but the big picture is here that this EU, WHO, HOWEF, they are planning this kind of new world of control, and this medication thing is part of that. It's not the only thing, of course, but it's part of that.
Yeah. So
And,
we're really heading that, and but if we just go back, what has this made with you as a person? I mean, you took the step and you sued Fazer and the government. I mean, it's hard to do it. I mean, you said you have a team because you can't do it on yourself, just by yourself.
Yeah. So I have a legal team, and then I have people on the health part as experts in my team. Dr. Aseem Malhotra from UK, this well-known cardiologist around the world on American TV, Australian, UK TV, and he's been consulting the top politicians and those in UK as well. So he was my expert witness in the court, talking there, and you can actually listen this Aseem's talk anytime. Just go to casecovidpass.com, and there is Aseem's talk. There's one version with the Finnish translation, and then there is a one and where the Finnish part is cut off, so it's only English. So you can listen, and some people have been listening it many times and sending messages that I'm still crying. So, and I was watching it maybe 3 meters away, and I was like feeling in the movie when there was the government lawyer asking different things, and then Aseem was talking back, and he took 2 Pfizer, not Fazer, but Fazer is a coffe and Pfizer is a vaccine. So he took 2 Pfizer shots himself as one of the first people in the world, and he was working in the vaccine place in UK that time. And and Astrid Stuckelberger from Switzerland, she gave a really excellent written statement on PCR tests in Finland, and that's also in the casecovidpass.com website. The key point of Astrid's PCR statement is that in Finland 97% were false positives, 97%, and it's all there. How did it go that way? So this pandemic, so to say, it really didn't happen in Finland even legally. So this is very interesting part. I don't know how is it here in Sweden, but in Finland there was this Ministry of Social and Health. They had different criteria for mild pandemic, for like a real pandemic, and then like a serious pandemic, different levels. Like how many people have to be in hospital, how many have to die in a certain time, blah, blah, blah. So during COVID time, based on this criteria of Finnish government itself, there was not even mild pandemic single time in Finland during whole COVID. Still the politicians, the president, the prime minister, the cabinet, the health authorities, they were talking about pandemic and media screaming it out. But there was no pandemic. I'm not saying there was not people sick of COVID. I'm not saying people didn't get ill and some seriously ill. I know a person in Finland who is coming to our Case Covidpass movie we've done an interview about her. Gärna is her name. So she didn't have the vaccine, and she got a really bad COVID. She almost died of the COVID. And so I'm not denying this kind of reality, but this is an interesting thing, like how media and everybody is spinning things out and making a lot of testing. And hey, we have these positive tests here. And even the Kari Myllis, who is the inventor of PCR test, who died just before COVID, American man. So he said that this test is not made to diagnose if you have a sickness or not, but it was used like a measurement and then take your basic rights away.
I mean, that's one of the biggest frauds ever, but and it's terrible. But Mika, doing all this, what has it made with you as a person?
Well, I say this many times to friends who ask the same question you are asking now, that I feel the kind of same like 5-6 years ago, like just normal.
Yeah, but you can't say that it's normal to go and sue the government. I mean,
yeah, it's not.
Maybe normal for you then, but for most people.
I understand, but my friends who know me, I'm 43 now, so they know me many years. For them, it's a surprise if there is no surprise in my life. So in that sense, it's kind of normal. Okay. I'm sort of this extreme guy to a certain extent. If I believe in something, I play all in. If I want something, I play all in. But I try to be at the same time wise and smart and humble with the realities. And so there is stupid risks, and then there are smart, wise risks.
So what are the stupid risks with this?
With this case?
Yeah. Is there any stupid risks?
Well, I wouldn't call it like this case, suing the government. I would call it stupid not to do this. I would reverse it, put it upside down. It would be idiotic for me not to do this.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because why not?
Most people wouldn't do it.
Yes. And now, if not doing this, what I think is that then next time when they come with this vaccine pass, if they try in Europe or elsewhere, so everything would go even faster through. So now this court case is like a stick in the wheel, knife in the wheel of these tyrants, and people can say in Sweden or other places that if they try to do it again, that hey, there is a dispute going on in Finland against the government about this kind of vaccine pass, even though it's a COVID pass, and they say you cannot do that. And
but I don't think there is an if. I just think it's rather when they do it.
They really have the will to do it. And Hanna Nohunek, who was my witness in the court, she was also expert witness for government. Even though she should not have been, the law denies that you cannot have expert witness who is partial, because this Finnish health authority that she's the chief physician of was one of the key planners of Covidpass. So you cannot take an expert witness from there. But then the judges let it just happen. In any case, this Hanna wrote in written letter, it's also on casecovidpass.com website, that this COVID pass was at least technically a pilot of EU. And there is a long-standing will to have this kind of vaccine pass for EU Commission. And it's all there in the EU Commission website. And what I really felt wrong, like I've been over 10 years now working with insurance, and the past 2.5 years mostly only with the health insurance, like life, or if you get a cancer or permanently not able to work, or you get a sick leave or whatever, you get some extra pay. So, and many times when people apply for these coverages, they have to fill in their health information online. If you have had like a stroke or cancer or some like a really serious stuff before, you may not get any of these additional voluntary insurances for yourself. And so I was saying that insurance for me, not to get the vaccine, insurance for me against the adverse reaction from the vaccine was not that I don't get it, I don't take it. And I'm really glad I didn't take any. In the court, I told the story of a man from Helsinki. He's around 50 plus now. April 21, I got a message from my friend. I still have it on my phone. So this man had taken Fazer, one Fazer shot, and he got blind from the left eye in like 1 to 2.5 hours. And I met him last autumn, last year, this time. He is still on the sick leave. He couldn't see with his eye. He had got 6,000 euro compensation for that from this kind of insurance, medical insurance company, paying for these damages. And I knew many other stories as well. So I told in the court, I don't want to get this vaccine to be able to live my normal life because I know it can do harm. And this is not okay, because you have a right to health and life. Oddly enough, this government lawyer, totally crooked, lawyer paid by government was telling me and my lawyer and team in the court that that they were protecting life in Fazer cafe when they didn't let me in. But if these people with the Covidpass and assumably vaccines in the cafe, if they were protected with this Covidpass, so how could I be a danger for them?
Yeah, how could you be a threat?
Yeah, this is just a simple logic. But this is a clown world. This is a joke. This is totally ridiculous. Like this is clown world.
So what are the wins for you to been taking this to the court? I mean, you can sit here actually spreading the words and talk about it and inform other people. But what do you think yourself?
Like what are the wins out of this? Well, many people have been encouraged of this thing in Finland and abroad. The awareness is spreading around, and I think this will be impacting in the future. And I believe I will win this at the end. I don't know how long it takes, but I will win, and it will be put as like a precedent case, example case. And yeah, that's like one of the wins. And some people are waking up. Many are following this story, but they don't comment, they don't talk anything online. They follow, but they are silent. Yeah. And we all know all these people. It's a free will to do so. It's whatever anyone wants to do.
But do you think more people will follow your example and sue their government?
I don't know. There has been some cases going on, you know, against the employers, nurses who have been kicked out, and last week I had a talk with a man who was working in a gold mining factory in Finland, and he got fired because he didn't want to put a mask on. Masks that they don't work, and but you have to have the mask on that you can work. Otherwise, we take your job and all these kind of things. And but in Finland, we cannot have this kind of class action lawsuit where many people are combining their efforts together and they sue as a group the government. We should have that, but we don't have that kind of tool. I don't know in Sweden how is that. I have no idea. Do you know? No idea. Yeah. In USA, I think they have. And this is what we should have in the law as well. And yeah, really, this is interesting place. Like I was talking yesterday with you that in Sweden you have the international song, this the Gamla de Fria, and it means that old and free, young and free, whatever. but it's not freedom anymore. Even if this country, like you told, that you couldn't even get to the cinema without medication. It's unbelievable.
Then you're not free.
You are not free anymore. No.
And I mean, oh my God, how I've been arguing. I went to the dentist with my son.
Yes.
And they handed me this
mask.
Yeah, and I still haven't worn one.
Yes.
And she was so aggressive and so, but I didn't put it on.
Yeah.
Because I know she couldn't force me.
Yeah.
So, and I have a fantastic example actually when I went to the hospital with one of my kids, and in the waiting room there's this big sign that we rekommenderar, so they want us, but I know that there is no law that can make me put it on.
Yes.
So I didn't take it, and the next person who came in looked at me and didn't take one either. So when I had been there for 2 hours, I think like 60% didn't wear mask. And when I came, like 99% had. So someone has to be first.
Yes.
And so that's the good thing with what you're doing. Someone needs to take the, stafettpinnen.
Yes.
The lead.
Yeah. I was talking with the attorney from France who is working with these human rights issues, and she didn't have the vaccine, and her family. She was asked that should people tell that, should like what she's telling people, is it that don't obey the government, or what? She said, I'm not telling people not to obey the government. I'm just telling people obey the law, the constitution. And all the freedom is there in the constitution. It's right there. And
yeah, but I'm born free, and no one can force me.
Yeah.
And you have to be an example yourself.
Yes, exactly. And all these kind of things. And in the court, as my last thing and the most important thing for me personally, everybody has a personal reason not to upload the Covidpass or something like that. But I was telling in the court, I'm a Christian, so I was telling a story that as I knew that this vaccine may cause harm to your body, so, and in the Bible it says that your body, the body of the believers around the world, it's the temple of God, temple of the Holy Spirit. So, and it tells very clear that take care of your body, okay? So I wanted to take care of the body of Christ, so to say, that it doesn't get hurt and injured. And then I said also that not only this, but I told my God, He's God of freedom. He's not a slavery God. He's not like a devil. That He's for freedom. He would never force me, the life He has given me and us, He would never force me to take any vaccine or medication to be able to live my life. Yeah. And He would never tell any president or prime minister, hey, tell the people I created that these millions down there that they have to have this medication, otherwise they cannot live the life that I gave them. So I said that this is the biggest violation you did to the government and the judges in the court, that you violated my normal Christian faith, that this was the biggest violation. So not only they violated the Oviedo Agreement and so self-determination and the Constitution of Finland and the European Human Rights Court, but they violated also my religious freedom. You know, I don't know, Muslims, Buddhist, Hindu may have a different thought, or New Age, whatever people are believing. Everybody can choose what they believe. But for me, this was the biggest thing, and I also told this in the court. And So now when they ruled out at the late May that I lost the case in the district court, so the Finnish mainstream media, Helsingin Sanomat, it's the biggest magazine in Finland, and Yle, which is like a SVT here in Sweden, so they published that this man from Helsinki was ordered to pay 120,000 euros to government and Fazer for losing the case in the district court, like 1 million crowns, a little bit over. Now we have appealed of this case to the Court of Appeals, so it's there in Helsinki, and we're waiting what's going to happen. And besides all these COVID rules that the government was, breaking, and Fazer. So the judges, there were 3 judges. They broke the procedural law. It's called a procedural law when somebody who is the plaintiff, like me, I have a right to show my case. So they broke this law on 8 occasions. And everybody can read this on the also casecovidpass.com. There is in English and also in Swedish the translation of this letter to the Court of Appeals. And now recently, 3 weeks ago, the Chancellor of Justice in Finland, they gave a notice to the district court that they've been mishandling my case, and it's the highest level authority overseeing the legal stuff in Finland going on. So now there is a big pressure in the Court of Appeals to receive my case or return it back to district court.
But if they are following the law,
yes,
you should win.
Yes, I should have win this already.
Yeah.
Easily, no problem. There is no problem of that.
It's so many things involved, and like you talked about the church. I mean, and here in Sweden, it was. I mean, if I had like any trust left in the church, it was gone after this.
Yes.
I mean, even the priests were like preaching about like going to
get the vaccine.
Yeah, and you couldn't get in.
Yeah,
and so many actually churches they had this medical thing. So I once came to
even here in Sweden.
Yeah, so when I came, there was these bridges because they let people in to take the shots. And when I saw this hjärtstoppmaskin, defibrillator, vad heter det?
Yes.
Yeah, and I was like, do they really need that if you're just giving a shot that's okay to take? And in the church. Yeah. So I've been having so much conversations with
They were giving it in the church.
Yes.
Yes.
In not exactly the church, but the lokaler, the buildings that's included to the church.
Do you want to hear what in Finland the main bishop of Helsinki Lutheran Church was saying in public?
Yeah.
He still hasn't apologized. He wrote in the mainstream media that unvaccinated person is responsible for the suffering and death of his or her neighbors. So they were blackmailing, and also the mainstream media reporter, one guy was like, it's like an Aftonbladet in Sweden, was writing that there are these people who are like positive for infectious disease. They are more dangerous than wolf, like a stray wolf, like a wild wolf.
Yeah.
All these kind of things. But then when somebody in the name of church, I think he's a fake bishop. He's not a real one, but he still has this name, bishop and whatever.
But I have the same story.
Because
I was included in some work in a church with one of the Swedish ex-bishops.
Yes.
And so I wrote to him during COVID, and because I wanted to know his opinion. And he wrote back to me and said that in these times, Zoia, the enskilda, the single person's will is we need to look at the big mass.
Yes.
And so.
So in Sweden, if you wanted to go to church here, were they asking this Covidpass in some places?
Yes.
Really?
So I have people. One of my friends, he actually took the shot against his will because he really felt that he needed to go to a concert with his daughter, a Christmas concert, because he wasn't allowed in.
Yeah. Is that the gospel?
I don't know.
Take the vaccine so you can hear the word of God. But I know a lady in Finland. Her name is Helena. It's a public story. She's now maybe 60 something and retired. Work as a diplomatic, like an engineer in some big companies before. And she had a son around 40. And her son died 2021 after first AstraZeneca shot. So her son got this thrombosis where the blood goes like really messed up. And he died soon after, and it's 100% confirmed by the Finnish health authorities, and it's also in the official statistics of Finland, like this death right there. So the thing is here that if you have the risk of death, even officially, not only like alleging or claiming that this was caused by vaccine, but even the official record saying that there is a risk of death of these vaccines, you should never ever blackmail people's human rights with this kind of medication. This is pure evil. You should never ever do that. So, and this is so nasty. And in Finland, the president, Sauli Niinistö at that time, he's not president anymore, but
and what they did in school, they came into schools and the classroom, and I mean
here in Sweden as well.
Yeah. So I mean the children who didn't take it, they were like left alone, and I mean everybody knew which kids didn't take it, and they just gave some juice and cinnamons to the one who took it. I mean, and that's not medical freedom. No. So they shouldn't have done it in schools.
Yeah.
It's really violating your rights.
Yeah.
And it's much worse than that, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, and even like they were saying that Joe Biden, American president, and many public figures in US and also in Finland, I've been rereading the statements of Finnish celebrities. They were interviewing in the Finnish newspaper around 50 known names. Yeah, I'm taking it for myself and to protect my family and my spouse and kids and whatever. That was not right. COVID was not stopped with these vaccines, and many people have been getting COVID, some even many times after taking these vaccines. So it didn't even work that way. So it's this control system they want to do.
It's very smart design, and many people took it. Many people felt forced to take it. I mean, most of the people I think took it in very good. They had big trusts.
Yeah.
In the government.
Yeah, like many people even now think that why would government do any bad for us? And one friend of mine, a good old friend of mine, who took the vaccines, and he's maybe kind of little suspicious about my case in that sense, but he has read a lot, like university degree and business and so on, and he was saying that I was talking with him over the lunch about this case, and he was saying, well, if there comes now this evidence up that this was not working, so they should then just admit it and so on. And I said, we did exactly that. But if you are too naive, like I think he is, you believe too much, too good about what's going on. It's not to say that you should become cynical, like totally not receiving anything coming from anywhere, but like don't be too naive and believe everything.
You need to think with your gut instead of your mind.
Yes, and it's yeah, and what's kind of like really appalling and frustrating a little bit that when we see all this going on, all kind of things, what we're talking now, so most of the people are just silent. They don't speak anything, they don't react anyway, they don't protest anyways, they don't send any tweet, any email, any private message to any parliament member, whatever. They are just silent.
Yeah, and if everybody who actually stopped believing in these shots would stand up, we would be quite many.
Yeah. And the key thing is like here in Sweden, any organization leader watching this is that next time if they try to do it here, stand up and say no, that you are not gonna require anything from your staff, your clients, your partners and so on. The people in the leadership position have the great responsibility because they have authority more than just a normal worker. And in Finland, unfortunately, the organizations which represent like big employers and also like normal companies, these nationwide organizations, I'm sure you have the same ones here in Sweden. So they were proposing this Covidpass for the workplace even. They were kind of promoting that and all that stuff. So most of the men, and women in leadership, just the spine was so weak, wind blew and nobody resisted. It's like a theater.
Yes. So, Mika, what will happen next for you and with this case?
With this case, yeah. So now we are waiting what the Court of Appeals will say from Helsinki. And
do you have is there a time limit or?
It says only in that within a reasonable time. It may be half a year, 1 year, so, whatever. And I'm posting on my social media on X and Facebook and other places about the case all the time in English and in Finnish. And we have this case Covidpass movie coming. It's kind of like ready filmed already. It's in English. But we are waiting now what happens with this Court of Appeals, like if we get one last thing there before we publish it. And on casecovidpass.com there is also, if somebody wants to support the film stuff, so there is a support button and you can send a wire bank transfer donation, if you will, to the costs. And there is also, I was planning I will send you the coffee mug next week, but there is a web shop, support web shop, Max Boldberg, MAXBOLD, like Boldberg.com. You can buy caps, hoodies, t-shirts, different mugs, coffee mugs, also stainless steel like coffee mugs, and there is Russell Brand coffee mug, one of them, and he was saying that this guy really needed his coffee. He was making a program of this last spring, and Asim Malhotra there is this saying that mRNA should likely never have been put into a single human being, and other stuff, and alpha female t-shirts, alpha female caps, alpha female hoodies, posters. Alpha female, it means, and alpha male, both are there. So it means that you don't bow down to these tyrants and you just stand out and
you stand up for your rights.
Yeah. And for the ladies there are t-shirts and other stuff called misinformation. So they have been really quite famous in Finland. All that stuff. So you can help shopping at maxboldberg.com.
I will put some information.
And casecovidpass.com there. Yeah. So all this is going, and
So hopefully we will have another program to celebrate your victory.
Yes.
Our victory.
Our victory. Yes, our victory, and like I believe people say that many people support me, but they don't believe I can win. Some people say that it's all good, just that it gets publicity, the story. But I believe if I stay strong in this, God will give the victory at the end, and the world will see it and know it. You cannot kick the healthy man out who took no medication to have a breakfast. You know, it's a joke. You cannot do it. It's illegal. It's wrong, and like government never do it again.
But it's against our freedom rights. Yeah.
Yeah, and think about slavery. Like when they were talking on yesterday, and otherwise in the news, there is this sex slavery, which is a big child prostitution around the world. Then there is all different kind of slaveries in the world. But now when they make you, all of us, like a medical slaves.
Yeah,
so if you are a medical slave, you cannot actually practice anything. It's like it's and it's crafted in a way, so we just have to stand up and do our part.
Thank you, Mika.
Thank you, Zoia. It was nice to be here in Stockholm.
I'm so glad you came here.
Glad to be here.